Okay. We are ready. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Monday. It's Monday the 14th, 2022, and this is the Game Bytes Show. We're here back at you right again. We're streaming, I believe, on the YouTube.
We're
Is
live.
that true, Jerod?
We're live right now.
It's true. Jerod is our
what a day.
streaming manager. We're live on youtube.com/GameByShow. Also with us, Jeremy Lamont. Hello, Jeremy.
Hey, it's Garfield's favorite thing about Mondays, the Game by Show podcast.
He always talks about
all the lasagna that you get on Mondays.
And there's Dale Jones. Hey, D. Hey, Dale.
Hey.
And as previously mentioned, Jerod Dunn. Say actual hi, Jerod.
Still here.
Cool. So what's new, fellers? It's been another week. Anything cool going
on? Weather's getting warmer, but I'm not going outside yet. I'm still in hibernation.
That's right.
Took my dog for a walk today.
Did you?
Nice.
That's pretty great. Daylight save. No, are we on or off daylights? Is it standard time now?
You're on.
So we're on daylight saving.
We're in MDT time officially, right?
Yep.
I think so, except for Arizona, which no matter what time of year it is, I think we talked about this last week. I'm not going to write about it.
We sure did. Yeah. This is exactly how we started.
I'm just still angry. I'm still mad.
No, we were talking about leap year. Yeah. And then it turned into daylight savings, and now Jeremy.
Well, it's here now. It's here. So, hey,
it messed me up, dude. I'll tell you what, dude. I woke up really late today. It was great.
Really?
It was great. It really was.
I've just been hiding. I've had a season of just like hiding in bed. And I think the groundhog hasn't seen a shadow yet, so it's time to stay under those covers.
That's exactly right. You know what? We hosted a tournament yesterday in Outlands.
Whoa!
I saw that.
Jousting and everything.
Sneaking it in.
That's right. Yeah. So there you go. There's the
That's
update.
Cool.
One of our squires won. Yeah, it's good times.
A squire won. How's that even possible? He's not even supposed to be on a horse.
Squires.
He defeated Dame Gretchen Wieners for the title. So.
Oh man, the storyline that's been going on between those two guys has been boiling up over months. Right. I'm really glad to see a resolution. I'm glad Squire was able to win.
I kind of want my tournaments to turn into basically like professional wrestling, with like alter egos and like over the top managers.
I mean, it sounds like there's at least one drag queen. So
yeah, Dame Gretchen Wieners is actually a female, which is even better.
Okay,
she's not allowed to say wieners.
Girls don't play UO Outlands. Girls didn't play video games back then.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Apparently,
how does she even have nostalgia for UO Outlands?
It could be totally new for some people. Like, what is the outreach strategy to get people like new blood into this thing?
I don't really.
Are you like, hey, look at this great thing, or is it all from a self-selected pool of people who were playing MMOs in 1998?
So our recruitment strategy is just to recruit from the same like pool of people that are already in the game. Although we did have Putnik Santiago joined us. I think he played for like a whole day before he gave up, which is pretty impressive.
No way.
Yeah, no, he had a character and everything. It's amazing.
Is part of the game that you come up with like a joke name? Do you have to come up with like a, I don't know.
I mean,
Sir Pants-a-Lot or something like that.
I have an entire account full of names where it's a first and last name, and the last name is always referential to a type of alcohol that's in the game. So there's Wine Pole. He's my fisherman. I have Ale Hammer. That's my blacksmith. Cider Loom is my tailor.
Oh, cool.
I mean, I don't know. You
make your own fun with UO Outlands.
That's it. You know what?
We have fun, don't we?
When you get crushed by Dushar Alehammer, you'll know you hit rock bottom.
That'll never happen.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it already right from here.
Are you sure these aren't characters out of Oliver Stone's The Last Duel? Or
yeah, you never know, right? Like they're true to life.
Oliver Stone. That was the other director guy.
Whatever. Nobody knows.
Last Duel. That's that movie with Matt Damon and Anakin Skywalker,
with Jean de Carouge and Jacques Legris.
There's a great name for you. You could make like a summoner and call him Matt Demon.
Matt Demon, I like it.
Or just name your summoned demon Matt, and it's Matt Demon.
Maybe it was a warlock, not a summoner.
Ben Staffleck.
Summoners summon good things. Warlocks summon bad things.
Don't give him any ideas.
So I have a summoner who summons earth elementals.
Those are good things.
And then
Demons
he poisons you with the spear.
Oh.
Whatever.
Maybe he's a bad guy,
Joe
though.
Dirt.
I was going to say like Joe Dirt Spear.
It's good stuff,
Joe
man.
Dirt.
He's going to write that one down for later.
That's right. Man, UO Outlands you make fun of it, but you do make your own fun. It's one of those games, right? Like,
it's fine.
Yeah,
that's
I remember
great.
back when we had like stick and hoop.
Yeah.
That was pretty good back then.
Yeah.
Video games used to be really great.
You remember that fun game when you would just throw rocks at like bodies of water and see if you could make them bounce?
Or bodies
Remember
of people.
before role-playing games and people played D&D? It's basically UO Outlands, right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, pretty similar.
Without a DM, just with a bunch of weirdos running around doing stuff.
Pretty much.
Cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm. So,
Well,
I'm glad we could talk about UO Outlands.
me too, actually.
So,
got...
Here's the thing real quick before we jump into the important stuff. Or maybe this is the important stuff. I don't know.
Probably.
Who here watched Arcane, the League of Legends thing on
I
Netflix?
watched part of it.
I haven't even finished season 2 of The Witcher.
I added it to my watch list.
Okay. Well, LeGrande, you saw a little bit of it. Wouldn't you argue that it has like pretty exceptional animation quality?
It is fantastic, and I wish I would have finished it while I was down here in COVID jail, and I haven't gotten back to it. Yeah. Anyway, it's amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing. It really does. It's really something else. I would say it's a must watch if you
Really fleshes out the backstory of those creeps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Actually.
No, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's fine.
The champions, Jerod. But you know what's weird is apparently like I don't know how I don't quite get this from like an outsider looking in perspective, but it seems to me like all of the like outside the game fiction on League of Legends is all like alternate universes. Like it's like its own pocket universe. Like like Arcane, the TV show is like different from, like the short stories that they write or like novels.
I mean, like isn't that the whole thing with the game though? Because like the game is like a collection.
Yeah, there's like a fish guy and a robot and like some.
Yeah. So it does sort of make sense in the context of the game, right? Because the game, like if you go and look at like the list of heroes in the game, they sort them out into about like, I don't know, 10 different factions. They're not really factions. They're more like kingdoms where there's like 10
affiliated cooperatives,
10 different like settings where like all these people might come from, and so the Arcane thing, it takes place in like it's like a overcity undercity sort of setting, and I forget the names of them, but then if you go and like look at like the champions on the game, there's like about 20 or 30 of them that slot into either the overcity or undercity sort of paradigm. But anyway, the reason I mention it is because I see here on my news feed that Riot Games invests heavily in animator of brilliant League of Legends show Arcane. So there's a French animation studio called Fortiche that apparently Riot is putting a significant investment into. So personally, I hope Arcane season 1 ended on not exactly a cliffhanger, but let's call it a inciting event for like more seasons, right? So I definitely hope they do more of that. But then like, if they're gonna do more, like I'd watch it. I'm not at all even a player of League of Legends. If anything, I played way more Dota, and thought I would probably care more about that universe or whatever. But having watched Arcane, I was like, this is wicked. So
like that's well and good, and I'm sure it is really good, and maybe I'll even watch it. But
you should watch it.
What I'm really excited for, though,
you 100% should watch it.
New York Times invested in that Wordle, and I'm waiting for that Wordle Netflix gritty reboot.
Speaking of gripping video content, every month UO Outlands puts out a Shard Happens or whatever. It's like or I don't know if it's every month, but it's like a recap.
What the hell is going on?
Our guild was in it 4 times, man. The very first clip was our guild. It was awesome. We're
That's
like
good.
Famous. We're like Outlands.
Listen,
good.
Moral of the story is that y'all should watch Arcane, and I'm going to finish it, Dale. I promise.
All right.
Arcane's wicked. Jeremy, you really should check it out.
I might. You know what? I'll add it right after the God of War documentary.
I will
just go watch the first freaking episode. It's like 20 minutes long.
Actually, you know what happened? I was just like one night, I was just like laying on the couch and I was just like, I don't want to do anything. So I went over to Amazon Prime and they have this like adult, like gritty Dungeons and Dragons. Well, it kind of has that. Like they kind of talk about like penises and stuff.
Oh my God.
I know.
I cannot believe this.
I know. And I just kept watching it and it wasn't really that great, but it was fine.
Or you could watch Arcane and watch something truly great because it is truly fantastic.
All right, I will go watch this show.
I do watch TV,
if you guys go watch Shard Happens, episode 16.
Okay.
Fair deal.
Yeah,
what is Shard Happens?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
Make sure you spell it right when you type that into.
Arcane is not spelled with a K like Arcane Studios. It's with a C, by the way. Yeah, so when you go to look for it, you'll find it. Well, let's get this party started. There's not a lot to talk about today except for Elden Ring. Sorry. Not sorry. But god damn, that game is so amazing and so good. And I can't wait for Dale to play it.
Did
Dale,
you find the Elden Ring yet?
I have 2 pieces of it.
Whoa.
I think I've killed 2 bosses. How big is
this
now.
ring?
And I'll tell you what, man. Here's the crazy thing about. Remember when Dale was telling us a story about Dark Souls 2, where you like got super over leveled because you grinded like rats for like hours on end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this game, since it's an open world, like I just wandered around and I finally made my way to like the second, like they call them legacy dungeons, because it's kind of like a standard, more traditional type of like Dark Souls experience where you have like a castle with a pathway. It's kind of like playing a level in regular Dark Souls. Anyway, I finally made my way to the second thing. It was today, and I was just kind of screwing around at lunch. I had like 30 minutes to play, and I was playing, and I'm just kind of like stomping my way through the second main area, and I'm just like killing everything, and nothing can stop me. And I made it to that dungeon, and I walked all the way through it, and I just killed the end boss first try. I'm like way over leveled for where I am in that game right now. And it makes, I don't know, it's awesome because I don't have to worry about dying, but it also is not difficult, which is also fine. But I still die from time to time because that game has a way of jumping, sneaking up on you if you like try to let your guard down. But that's like typical of all these types of games. But anyway, Elden Ring is, dude, it's so good. I'm probably 40 hours into it. I'm level 60.
Any sense of how long it will be?
Are there any community secrets? Like, what's the wider world of Elden Ring doing? Do we know?
Yeah,
I heard somebody hacked in a pause function.
They hacked in a pause function. They hacked in like an easy mode. They hacked in a hard, and then somebody else said, "Well, I'm gonna make a hard mode." Then, and they made like a harder mode for it. I found the place to respec, so you can actually respec if you find a specific item. I haven't done it yet, but if I wanted to like go back and try like an intelligence build or a faith build, because I have I pick up you get a ton of weapons, because every time you go into like a dungeon or you go into somewhere and you kill the boss, or you'll find items, you'll find like spells to use, or you'll find weapons, and a lot of the really cool looking weapons that probably do cool stuff require like high intelligence, which my guy does not have. I have a lot of strength.
Is that because they're like magic based stuff or what? Yeah,
so you can build a caster class, which I guess are really, really good. And so the interesting thing is, so you have these flasks, and you have your healing flasks, and then you have flasks, which are like your Estus flasks, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like these other flasks that will restore your magic points. And they behave the same, but you can actually choose how to allocate them. So say, for example, you want to play like a caster, you can equip like healing spells on you. So rather than having to rely on drinking your Estus flasks, you heal yourself with spells, and then you get magic points back by drinking the other flasks, right? Anyway, it's interesting that way, because you can completely, like, I could go and just respec my character and go completely intelligence build, and I would probably have a lot of really good gear and a lot of spells, because I've been collecting all these weapons and spells and armor pieces that are like high intelligence or high faith, which I may not ever use, at least not with this character, unless I respec him, because I just can't use spells because I don't have enough intelligence.
Yeah. That's how it was playing like Demon Souls for me. Like I thought I was just like, I'm going to do some magic. And then it's like, nope, I didn't do enough magic. So now I've got like 2 half-class characters
that are both.
Yeah, and I think that I don't think that magic classes are the first way that you play these games. I think that they're less standard. It's not like you're running up with a big shield, you block dudes, and you have to, be a little bit smarter with the way that you play, probably, because it's probably a lot less forgiving when you get hit. And you also, don't do a lot of damage with a standard attack. You have to rely on, having enough magic points to kind of.
I also feel like when I watch people play and they're shooting magic at dudes, I feel like I'm like, come on, man, like come on, just shooting like little fairy balls at people, and I'm like, get in there. Get in there.
Well, that's the thing is there's different play styles, right? You can play a mage, or you could play a battle mage with a sword, like intelligent sword with casting stuff, or you could play a big tanky dude with shield and axe, or you could play a guy with big double axe. I have a big curved great sword that does bleed damage, and I've been kicking the shit out of everyone with it. There's daggers. There's my my Wolverine claws that I kind of stopped using.
Did you guys ever play Outward? It's like a Souls-like open world.
No, I don't think so.
So
I remember I
got a little bit of survival elements.
Yeah, you had to build like campfires and stuff, huh?
Yeah. So that actually had a really cool system for magic that I actually really liked. You don't start with magic at all. In fact, when you get to the area, you have to like find it's not really secret. It's like a giant mountain. But when you get to the inside, you can learn magic, and that's when you choose how much like mana points you want, or you have to like convert your stamina and hit points for mana points. And I thought that was kind of cool because it's a more difficult system to use, I think. And so it lets you get into the game a bit before you make that choice, instead of, I'm going to be a caster, and then it's awful.
Yeah, I like that idea. And maybe that's what this respecking is for, because I'm 2 bosses in, and basically the second boss that you kill, spoilers, you basically unlock the ability from her to do this, right? Yeah. And at this point, you could probably, I could probably make that decision and go that direction if I wanted to, and I'm comfortable enough that I'd be fine. So it's kind of that way, I guess. But yeah. It's a trade-off, right? You pick intelligence, you don't have as much strength or as much health or endurance or whatever, right?
Yep.
This game, because it's an open world, you have to go and seek out like spells and seek out things. So I just found this lady, and she was actually locked away in this cave. So I had to fight my way through this cave. I fight the boss, and I open this door in the end of the boss room, and there's this lady in there, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to teach you. You want to learn some spells from me?" And so she's like she's like a witch who there's like a whole storyline behind her.
She's like playing like Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link.
Yeah. And so, dude, 100%. It's an open world game, and you have to like find things. It's not like, and like a Dark Souls game, you're kind of just making your way through a castle, and you go one direction, and maybe you find a secret item over there or whatever, but you don't really have that flexibility of just running around uncovering things and doing stuff. And in this game, you don't have to play the game. Like, you just go and do that, just run around and progress through the entire map and never actually fight any of the main bosses. And I guess because of all the 6, there's like 6 different shards of this Elden Ring or whatever, right? You only need a couple of them to actually unlock the final boss or something like that. Huh. So you could actually, which is why people are speedrunning this so quickly, is because you don't need to actually have you don't actually have to complete the whole thing. It's kind of like, in Zelda, where you could go to the end of Breath of the Wild if you wanted to from the very beginning of the game, and people have done that, and that's how you speedrun that game, right? Like, this game is has similarities to that, and maybe it's not quite as flexible as that because you do need to do some things, but I don't know, man. It's got me gripped still, and there's nothing I want to play. Like, it's almost. I remember when Skyrim came out, and I like to compare this game to Skyrim a lot because they are both just big open-ended worlds where there are things you can go do to progress story or progress whatever the game itself, but ultimately you find yourself just kind of wandering around, finding caves and doing stuff, right? I remember when Skyrim came out, and I remember playing that game and just being blown away by how open it was. And like, I remember telling myself, like, man, if I was stranded on a desert island with one game for the rest of my life, it would be Skyrim 100%, and I'm kind of feeling that right now about Elden Ring. Like, it really feels like I could get sucked into this game for several hundred hours, just trying another character type or trying different builds or or just starting again from the beginning with, going full dexterity build with daggers this time and seeing what happens. Or
that stuff's always fun in these.
Yeah, that's and I've never been this absorbed into one of these types of games. Even Bloodborne, which I loved and finished, like I never really had a desire to go back and play Bloodborne more, right? But this game, I could totally see myself coming back and playing more, even after I roll credits on it, which I'm fully planning on doing and believe that I will at some point. I'm, like I said, I'm 36, 39, I don't know, somewhere in the 30s hours through. And I still have over half the map I haven't even uncovered, which is insane. And then there's a whole underworld, by the way, that you can find little gateways to get down into the underworld. And it's like a whole huge map down there too, with new things to find. And a lot of this stuff is all optional. Like you don't even have to do it. It's almost like you do it as because you want to. It's because it's fun. Like it doesn't matter. And when you die and you lose souls, like I get frustrated and like, oh man, that sucked. I lost all those souls, but oh well, I guess I'll go down this cave and see what's down here. And I don't ever feel bad. I haven't felt so bad about losing like a level, by losing all my souls that I wanted to like not play anymore. And I never felt bad about going through a dungeon and getting to the end of it, killing the boss and getting an intelligent weapon that I can't use. Like that has never felt bad about it because I'm having so much fun just playing the game and being in the world. And like, oh, look at this boss. I'm going to figure him out, and then solving it. And he gave me an item I can't use. Like, oh, well, it was still awesome. Like it doesn't matter in this game. There's something about it that transcends like typical RPG progression. Like, for example, World of Warcraft, you don't do stuff in World of Warcraft unless it's going to benefit your character, right? You don't do stuff just for the fun of it in most cases in the RPGs. Like everyone is expecting progression. They're expecting rewards. They're expecting something for them. Even like Diablo Loot 2.0, the whole point of Loot 2.0 was to make it so that when things drop, you could use them because people felt bad about getting drops for stuff they couldn't use, right? So they completely revamped it. In this game, something about it, at least for me, like I'm playing the game for the fun of playing the game, even though it's an RPG with progression. Like if I'm not progressing, it's okay because it's a damn good time just running around the world killing stuff. And I don't know, it's phenomenal. And I hope that all you guys play it one day. Dale, I know you'll play it one day, and I believe that you will absolutely love this game. And Jeremy, you would also love it if you tried it. And Jerod, you should try it.
I might try it.
You should.
Cool, though. That's kind of heartwarming.
I'm telling you that there's a reason why it's getting the accolades that it's getting. It's going to be tops of Games of the Year's lists all over the place at the end of the year. Like as of right now, I'm predicting it right now. Game by Show prediction for 2020. This will be my game of the year. There's nothing else. And the thing is, I look at the release list and I look at what's coming out. And there's absolutely nothing on my radar aside from Final Fantasy 14 patch that
checks out with one of my 2022 predictions. Elden Ring wins GOTY.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh goddamn! Well, you're probably gonna win that.
He's a genius.
Nobody saw it coming.
No, well, I mean, when has any other Dark Souls game won any Game of the Year awards? Like people like them, but they're not like universally loved like Elden Ring is universally loved, even by people who don't care for these types of games. Like it's a thing, man. There's something there, and they've struck some sort of gold with this thing, and it's great. Elden Ring gold, even. Ooh. So there's your Elden Ring update. Come back next Monday for even more Elden Ring updates because I will be playing nothing else over the next week, and I'm sorry, not sorry.
Nice.
Yep. I want to hear about Guardians of the Galaxy from Jeremy, though.
Okay.
Spoilers. I see it on the outline.
Yeah, we do. I
100% do because I want to play this game too someday. And I know it's on Game Pass, right?
It is on Game Pass. Yep, that's exactly the reason that I played it. I also was a fan of the Avengers game that didn't really hit well with people. I thought it was really.
That is the most Jeremy thing that I've ever heard. Jeremy loves things that people hate.
This is
hates
not
things that people love, right?
Yeah. Well,
that sound about right?
Here's the thing, though. I get out ahead of it and I like it, and then people don't like it, or I don't like it and then people love it. I don't know what to do about it. I can't go back in time. But I did like it. I thought that it was ambitious. I thought that it did something, really cool for multiplayer and the whole Destiny idea of like farming missions, and they were superhero missions. You could have someone who was the Hulk and someone who was like flying around as, Iron Man or whatever. Like you could do all this cool stuff, and people didn't really like it. But the the team behind it at Crystal Dynamics, so this is also the Tomb Raider company, I don't know if this was planned from the beginning or what, but they decided that they were going to try something with a different franchise that was much more narrative based, and that's Guardians of the Galaxy. So Guardians of the Galaxy uses, as far as I can tell, like the same general engine. The technology's the same. It chugs just a little bit, you know, so that you can kind of tell that the computer's doing something, trying to process all these graphics and stuff. And it still uses kind of that Marvel Cinematic Universe character models. You know, it's not whoever, trying to think of any of the actors' names, but I'm blanking on all of them right now. It's all, you know, the Square Enix version of these characters, and voice actors and scenarios. And it's really great. The idea is that the Guardians of the Galaxy are like the losers of kind of Marvel, right? Like yeah, exactly. Like Star-Lord is like this stupid hair metal kid from the 80s, and he grows up and goes to outer space, and he's never as cool as he thinks he is. That's
the best part of all of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. And all of the members of the Guardians of the Galaxy are just kind of like their own losery. There's something wrong with all of them, right? And and the whole thing is like, oh, we're this dysfunctional family that's like good together or whatever. But they're not. Like, they fight and stuff. And everything in this game hits on that note really well. The main scenario of the game, when you get into it, is like, you know, it's like you're not saving the galaxy. You're doing something stupid because of stupid circumstances. The characters bicker all the time. You know, you don't run over a lot of terrain and landscapes and stuff. You do platforming, and you know, you as Star-Lord, you know, you sort of occupy that main character, and you can, at any point as you do missions, you always have the AI characters with you, and it could be a mix of different characters or whatever. You can even make story decisions that kind of put different characters in or out of the team, and they're always chattering and they're always bickering, and you can decide that you're going to step in and, you know, goad the fight a little bit, or you're going to be like, okay, no guys, you know, let's keep our eyes on the mission or whatever, and then they'll bicker at you, you know, and it's just really well done. The dialogue is really well done. The scenario, I think, is really fun and cute.
Do you pick the characters that run with you at any given time, or is it part of the narrative?
Not all the time. So it's just it's contextual to the mission or the scenario. So in the first couple of missions, you have to decide to kind of go without someone for reasons. And you know, and none of it's like clearly, you know, even if you want to be a good guy, like there's not always like good guy choices. And the way the characters react to things really well. The voice acting is delivered really well, except I will say the guy who does Star-Lord somehow doesn't really do it for me, which is unfortunate because he's in like every conversation. But he kind of floats in and out, but he is elevated by everybody else because all of the other characters, the guy who does Rocket Raccoon is great. The guy who does Drax the Destroyer is kind of playing like, what's his name from the movies? Gamora, and Groot just says he's Groot, but you know, there's funny things about that too. And it also takes place in a scenario that is outside the movies, and I think even outside the comics. I think it's an original story that kind of touches on different narrative points from the series kind of at large. So you're sort of in the middle of it. You know everybody. You have a history with people. You know, there are little touching moments where characters, you know, kind of find out about, you know, your troubled past, and you find out about theirs, and those sorts of things. And then you punch each other in the face and you dust off and you go get stuff done. You know, it's that sort of thing. There are fun new characters. I mean, there are even there's even like a child character that's really kind of cool, and even the dynamic between you know, as you kind of warm up to this kid, is really kind of sweet and really well delivered. And you know, as you go through the game, so the way it plays is you as Star-Lord have some basic functions, which is you've got guns. You're the only one who really, well, I guess Rocket shoots like big guns and stuff.
Big stuff.
Yeah, big guns. And as you go through, there are going to be environmental puzzles that you can choose from among your people to see like who can get us through this rubble or something like that. And maybe Groot can like plant it up with roots or something and like crush it up, and then maybe Rocket can explode it. And sometimes you only have one choice, but they give you some options for that stuff. In combat, combat is kind of punctuated with these little arena zones where everybody gets together and you just have a big brawl. Oh yeah, all of that. Yeah. They like form Voltron. No, but they are fighting along with you, and they're actually doing damage to the bad guys. But you can call in their special abilities at any given time, and they all have kind of their, like, Groot is sort of a tank character that roots people. Well, he roots people. You have Rocket, who does some area of effect weapon damage. Gamora is a kind of an assassin character that deals massive damage to one enemy that you choose. And then Drax is kind of there's a stagger mechanic for this where you can shoot guys or you can punch them. There's melee and stuff like that. And even the melee is context sensitive. So you find some little guys at the beginning, and Star-Lord kind of does that little kick like he does at the very beginning of that first movie when he's kicking those little rats and stuff like that. And that's kind of a cute little reference. So you have the additional characters, I think, kind of in the same way. Like, do you remember when, I mean, this goes way back, but even like Half-Life 2, when you had Alex Vance or whatever, and everybody's like, oh, she's such an amazing character. She kind of wasn't, but it was just something that hadn't been done before, an AI character that follows you through the whole game.
This actually emoted and had a personality.
Yeah, and there's stuff to talk about. Yeah, exactly. This does that, and it does it really well with all 5 of these characters. And it's just kind of a pleasure to play like that. And there are little slow moments where you have to kind of figure out, like, where do I push this block, or who, what guardian do I have do this or that or the other. But it doesn't take long before you get back into it. And there's a lot, I've like laughed at some of the jokes, which is always, if a game makes you laugh, like no matter what kind of game it is, like that's a win. And it does that, and it keeps the pace going really well. The gameplay variety is pretty good. I mean, it really is a third person kind of action platformer, but it just kind of keeps things clipping along. And at first, I will tell you, they do go with that whole, like, here's the licensed music thing. And at first I was like, okay, here we go, whatever, hooked on a feeling or whatever. I'm immune to this. But I got to say, by like the second or third chapter, I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know. It kind of won me over. I didn't think it would, but I think that this is a really good representation.
When are they going to start putting 90s alternative rock into video games and stuff, and like movies and things?
Didn't they just put a Nirvana song on the new Batman movie? So it's probably not long.
It's common.
Yeah. So there's also, I will say, there's a light RPG sort of upgrade system. You can get skill points, and then each of the AI characters, like I say, they specialize in things, but you can then upload them with different skills. So they're like a face button, and then their menu has its own quad set of things that they can do. So you can actually upgrade them with skill points to do, different kinds of damage to single characters, area of effect, or other sorts of things. So there's also some variety in kind of the combat and the choices that you have when you're doing kind of your moment to moment, like fights and stuff like that. And it just does, in the same way that I think the narrative portions of Avengers I thought were good and well done. This is like that, but better and kind of all the time. So that's probably the best thing I can say about it. And I've been streaming it on Xbox Game Pass. It streams to consoles, and I just jumped in, and it keeps like, are you wanting to install this? I'm like, no, I'm good. And I've just been playing right through it and just having a hoot. It's a good old time. So Guardians of the Galaxy, Xbox.
I'm installing it right now.
It's good. I think you'll like it. I really think.
I wonder how long it is.
I don't know. I actually have no idea.
It'd be good as something to play that when I don't have like 2 hours to really get into Elden Ring. I might need something else.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean? The time flies though. Like I tried to play this a bunch even before we showed up, and I felt like I didn't have enough time, and I just kind of want to go back and play it some more. And there is. Yeah, there's a little bit of language and stuff like that, but I almost kind of want to like let my kids play it because they like the movies and stuff, and I think this is better than the movies. I don't really care for the Guardians of the Galaxy movies overall, but this is good.
What, really?
You don't?
These are fun.
No, especially the second one. That second Guardians of the Galaxy movie was like the Star Trek V of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Remember, guys, everybody liked it, so Jeremy has to not. That's the rule.
Really? Yeah, come on, right. You guys don't know.
It was fine, man.
No, the second one was just like. Second one.
What are you talking about?
The first one was passable.
The Batman movie was way cooler than any Marvel movie. How about that?
I haven't seen any DC movies since like the original Wonder Woman, and that was the first one I'd seen since the Brandon Routh Superman. So
you should watch this latest Batman movie. It's really good.
Really? I've heard it's dark and gritty. Is it dark and gritty?
It is as dark and gritty as it gets.
I saw a meme that was like me in 1989 watching a dark. It was like it started out with the 1969 Batman. And it was like full color, and then it was like watching a dark Batman movie in 1991, and then it was like watching a dark Batman movie in 2004 or whatever. And like it just got darker, and then and then it got darker, and then it's like me watching a dark Batman movie in 2028, and it's just like black.
Did y'all ever watch that Joker movie with Homeboy?
No, I didn't. No.
Oh, you guys just are missing out on good quality.
I love it. I love
dark movies.
It always gives me something to look forward to in this life. Like, oh yeah, I'll definitely watch the Joker movie.
Watching the Batman movie makes me realize that I don't want to watch Marvel movies anymore. But I will play a Marvel video game.
I honestly,
as long as the Marvel video game is good, I just don't care for that formula anymore in movies.
I'm done with Marvel movies, but this I really enjoy.
Marvel movies.
Actually,
yeah, you will.
Every few months, you know. It's good.
Did you ever see Black Widow, Dale?
I did. Yeah, and I saw Eternals as well.
It's all right.
What the hell?
Yeah, they're fine.
This Guardians of the Galaxy game makes me actually want to go back and finish the main campaign to the Avengers. And go try out all that DLC.
And go watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
And go play all the DLC. All right. Well, I've been playing No Man's Sky, Expedition 5, Exobiology. So
you already talked about an old game that you've talked about a million times.
I know.
No. This is
new.
So you can be in a robot with this, and
yeah. So they released.
What?
Okay. So the latest major expansion they had is called Sentinel, and they revamped the combat. They added new AI, like the robots that you fight. They added a new like suit that you can walk around in, like their exosuit, and all that kind of good stuff. And then along with that, or like a week or so later, they released their 5th expedition. And I don't know if we've talked about the expeditions for No Man's Sky specifically on the show, but basically what they are is they're limited time periods. So this one I think is running for 6 weeks, and it's about halfway over. And you have to create a new character. So you basically start fresh, and it's got like almost like a storyline to it, right? And there's like objectives as you go through that you have to accomplish, and it's things like tame. On this one, it's all about creature companions. So it's like tame a companion or ride a certain distance on your companion, things like that. And one of the things I love the most about these expeditions is each one picks out some aspect of the game to highlight. That like most of it's stuff I've never done before. Like I've never tamed a pet because it's like, I've got a spaceship. Why would I want a weird cow dinosaur, right? And
the real answer question is why not?
Right. And it makes you kind of do this stuff, and it's just awesome. Like there is a whole like meta game of gathering ingredients. Like you feed creatures in the wild, you can gather their ingredients like eggs, or you can milk some, and
Ooh.
yeah, and you make all these ingredients, and you can make cakes. There's like this whole cake meta game.
You can milk anything with nipples, I hear.
Yeah, so
I've got nipples, Greg. Can you milk
any
me?
mammal can be milked.
Anyway, so you can like travel around the galaxy gathering different types of milk and honey and sweeteners and make all kinds of weird cakes, turns out. I don't know why you'd want to do this.
So someone
why not,
the
Jerod?
Mad
Why
Men Hello
not?
game. Somebody stop them before they kill again.
And so anyway, I learned this during the expedition. And in fact, they also have this whole like below the sea biology that they've implemented. And I've never gone under the water, like
surface deep.
Oh yeah. And so now I have to, and like I built the little submarine, and I was attacked by some kind of sub creature horror, and it was awful. But yeah, and so that's what I'm doing. And
so is this tied to any particular? So this is all part of this expedition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a limited time to do this stuff. Do you just like get a mission and then you're like, okay, you're going to go get attacked by cave beasts?
Nope. And so it lists it out, and there's like 5 phases, something like that. and each phase is kind of grouped. So you start on a single planet, and a lot of times you don't have a spaceship yet. So you're like riding across this planet on your animal companion because you don't have a spaceship, and doing the different objectives. And once you kind of finish that phase, you get like a reward that you can unlock on your main account, because again, you had to create a new character for this. And then you move to the next one. So you'll the end of the expedition, first phase of the expedition is usually something like reach space. So you eventually repair your spaceship and you go up into space, and then you go to the next rendezvous. And so you fly to another planet, and these are all like pre-made and like picked out by Hello Worlds, and and then you start the next phase, right? And it's like, oh, you have to like identify so many flying creatures or whatever, and they're all different. Like there's been different ones. This one just happens to focus on the creature companions, and so you just kind of walk through these different objectives, and there's no story per se. There's not like characters that are like have dialogue and stuff, but you kind of, again, it's a very open world space game. You're kind of developing your own story as you play through to meet these objectives and stuff. So it's pretty great. And the other thing that I really love about it is you see tons of other players, right? Because it like there's like this whole galaxy to explore, but suddenly there's all these players for 6 weeks in this one like little corner of the universe. And you see like their different bases they built and all these things.
Are they actually in one sort of geographic location?
Yeah. Everyone starts on the same planet and goes to the next same planet. And it uses their kind of phase in multiplayer where you don't see everyone, but you can see all their bases. And then you see like a handful of other players kind of flying around in their spaceships and stuff, which is really cool to see. Because normally the star systems, they're kind of lonely. There's not much activity going on. There's not, you'll see spaceships flying around, but they're just kind of aimless. But
what do you think is the next phase? Are they going to like finally make this a real MMO? Or are they finally going to crash everybody's?
I have no idea, because they keep kind of coming out with stuff that's just like kind of crazy. So like this one, they added new.
Our Citizen's going to buy them, and then they're going to release it.
They're just going to call it Star Citizen. Yeah.
How sad. Yeah. Right. Man. But they've just continued to really kind of impress. I mean, I have a kind of a short list of things that I would love to see in the game. That would just be really great. But, who knows if they'll come up with it. It certainly wasn't cake baking. So you never know. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing is No Man's Sky, which runs great, by the way, on GeForce Now. So
nice.
You can check it out just about anywhere.
I don't really want it. It'll be good.
But yeah. So
I've been
Dale's got his business hoodie on. It's business time.
It is indeed. This is I went way back into the bucket to find a game to play this week. I don't know, something just occurred to me the other day that I kind of wanted to like check out Control, but then I was like, well, I should probably play Alan Wake. But then I was like, I should probably play Max Payne 2 because I haven't played that one yet. So I had fortunately played through Max Payne. So I went and found my copy deep within my Steam library of
you have it on
Max Payne
Steam.
2, The Fall of Max Payne.
I think when I played that game, Steam didn't even exist.
Yeah, I played it on PS2,
It's
and
pretty old, isn't it?
I rage quit this game.
Max Payne 2, The Fall of Max Payne?
Yeah, I had a save
I played it on
state
PC.
situation that was not good, and so I finally just quit.
Oh, yeah, because these games are somewhat challenging, at least. I know when I played through the first Max Payne, I definitely got into like a loop of like where I had a quick save with only like a sliver of health left, and it's like, okay, I gotta perfect the next room.
Gotta claw my way up from nothing.
Yeah. But so far in this game, it seems like either it's a little bit easier or maybe I just know what I'm doing now. I don't know.
You've matured.
But it's like, as soon as you see other guys, you do the shoot dodge. And it's like you go into slow-mo while like jumping.
That sounds like something that would be in the instruction manual. Mm-hmm. That's when you see other guys, you shoot.
You do the shoot dodge. That's what it's called. That's the maneuver is called the shoot dodge, where you're flying through the air like Superman with both guns.
The cool part is you can do it whenever you want. You don't even have to do it when there's enemies. That's the
and it doesn't use up meter. Your like special slowdown time meter, which in the first game, if I remember right, it was like a function of how you had used the drug, like the Valkyr drug.
Valkyr, yeah.
On the street, you know. And in this one, you still get the painkillers, like to, you know, replenish your health. And it seems like the slowdown bullet time stuff, the non-shoot dodge bullet time, it seems like that kind of like recharges as you shoot dudes, or maybe just with time or something.
I recharge my bullet time as I shoot at dudes.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I jump sideways.
That's limited to the meter, right? So you can't do it for very long. But it does seem like you can shoot dodge as many times as you want in a row. And
imagine if you could just do that in real life. Like if you were just, you know.
You can. I mean, you can
just like shoot dodging everywhere.
Who's stopping you, Jeremy?
I know.
I bet there's like YouTube videos of guys doing it, like a target. They're at the range, you know. They have both of their Glocks, and they like get a running start, shoot dodge, and try to, you know, hit the target while they're doing it.
I need you to say shoot dodge for me one more time.
Shoot dodge. Shoot dodge. Yep. That's what it's called. It's mapped onto you go to the options setting. It's like, which button do you want to be the shoot dodge?
Oh yeah.
I think they were still learning English at that point, weren't they? They were just kind of
yeah, maybe.
Is this the game where I remember playing a Max Payne game on PC? Like I'm talking 2 decades ago, right? Like where I was like running on like blood splatters on the ground.
That's the first game.
Yeah,
because he uncovers the tragic. Well, we'll save that. Spoiler alert.
This one has a
20-year-old game,
sort of hallucinogenic scene to it. It's not that. It's more like, you know, he like was on drugs or something, and like very drunk, and you know the world is kind of like warping around him and stuff. And that's fairly early on. I sat down and I played it for a couple of hours, and I got like, I don't know, 4 or 5 chapters in. I don't know how long the game is, but you know what I appreciate about a game like this is that it's super simplistic, right? There's no hidden stuff to go find in the levels.
Shoot and a dodge.
Yeah,
that's it.
You do them both at the same time, and it's, you know, 2 birds, 1 stone. There's always guys coming. There's like all these thugs. They're just like
the boss said, get him.
Wherever you are, there's thugs.
Watch out, he's shooting and dodging.
Yeah, exactly, precisely. And you know, it has a real hard-boiled sort of detective, you know, crime story, right? Like
and retroactively thinking back on it, maybe you can comment on this, but it seems like there's always something new that's happening, right? Somehow it seems like I remember the first game took a long time, you know, like there was like it's just like there's a lot going on, but they kind of make a credible, you know, go of it.
One,
like,
you know, the characters are established, and so they don't have to like do the world building stuff. It's just plot, right? Yeah. So like there's the femme fatale in this series is this gal called Mona Sachs. Right?
Mona Sachs.
And she turns up, she's in the first game, and then like it looks like she might die at the end of the first game, but no, here in the second game, she's alive and well. And she's also like
just saxing around.
She's like a bounty hunter. I think she is actually a bounty hunter, or like a hitman type of, you know, an assassin for hire. Yeah, you end up going to a place where like you're looking for your Russian buddy. I don't know. I think he's called Vladdy or something. And you go to his warehouse because he's in the middle of trying to like convert an existing nightclub over to like his new, you know, it's going to be the main draw in the town. Like this place, it's a bar club. He's
all DDR.
Vodka.
Yeah.
But then some thugs attack, and so you got to like save him from the thugs. And then I'm not even sure what's going on in the story. It seems like, you know, Max Payne is he was a detective. No, he was a cop, and he was good at his job.
Yeah.
But then he was a detective. But now he's a cop again.
so don't forget though, Dale. After this, there's Max Payne 3. Did you remember the existence of Max Payne 3?
Yeah, but I don't think that was
by the same guys though.
I don't remember, but it's totally different.
He's like in Brazil in that.
Yeah, like Cuba or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Miami Vice movie.
Yeah. I bought a digital copy of that game probably 10 years ago, and I don't think I ever installed it.
I haven't
on the PS. I've got it on my PS3. I probably better get it while the getting's good.
Yeah. No, I've got that on my Steam library.
You'll really be missing out
on Steam.
I was considering just skipping that one though, because I just kind of was like, I was just going to play through the Remedy games.
So this, you're all just like working up to Control though, right? I mean, is that the ultimate?
Yeah. Okay. Eventually, right? 10 years from now.
Alan Wake is so good though. And
but yeah,
they're doing a remastered one. So
the hard-boiled detective stuff is interesting to me because I'm kind of into that. Like I watched that movie Chinatown the other night. I'd never seen it before. You guys ever seen Chinatown?
No, I don't think so.
It has almost nothing to do with Chinatown.
It's a Big Trouble in Little China.
In Chinatown. It's got a youngish Jack Nicholson from 1974 or something. Yeah, he looks like, about our age in that movie. It's weird. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, Max Payne, hard boiled, shoot dodge, very simple. There's no collectibles, just shoot dodge, just hard boiled. Knows what it wants to be. There's a time where like I would have faulted this game. I would have been like, well, there's not much to it, But nowadays I'm kind of like, this is fine. I just want 2 buttons. Just give me 2 buttons. 2 buttons that I press. One button, 2 functions, same time. Shoot dodge. There you have it. Oh, there was a game that came on Steam sale that I've been looking at getting for a while. It's a game called Battle Brothers. This is a turn-based tactical battles game where it's hex-based. The battlefield is hex-based. And you remember BattleTech, how like you're managing a mercenary company? Mm-hmm. That's exactly what this game is. It's managing a mercenary company, except instead of BattleTech, it's like medieval, militias wandering around a fantasy landscape. That's cool. But it's kind of like light fantasy, as in like there are like orcs and
undead,
undead stuff, but it doesn't seem like very overtly into like fantasy stuff. It's just they're just kind of there as other options of stuff to fight, I guess. But the whole idea of managing. So when I didn't really know exactly what I was getting into. I just wanted to get this game. It's a little more heavy on the like managing a company and like outfitting them, like hiring guys for the right salary, because then you got to pay them every day at noon, like they're 7 gold shillings or whatever. But then you're also like managing like what are they wearing, like a padded doublet or like a gambazon, or like do they have like a helm, or do they have just like a padded hat thing? This guy's got a bow, like should I give him a sword instead? I don't know. Guys at range don't seem to be able to hit very well from like more than a couple of hexes away. It's like, how is it even worth having range at that point? I don't know. But you're doing a lot of like managing the company, and maybe a little bit more of that than I had hoped for. But you do kind of like go from village to village and take on jobs and contracts rather. It's like, there's a group of bandits led by this guy, we need you to go kill him, doing that sort of thing. And I've probably already talked about it more than I've played into it at this point, but look for more developments on that one at some point. But that's where I'm at.
Real good.
Ooh, it's good stuff. Also good stuff are the new releases for the week. From
nice.
tech-gaming.com.
Go on.
Yeah, so we actually only have a couple here, but we'll list them anyway. The expansion/DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, called Dawn of Ragnarok, is out. So go Valhalla, I guess. I don't know.
I can't wait to play God of War 2.
Yeah, you know what? I actually really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I'll wait till all the stuff's out and get it all at once.
Are you God of War 2ing on day one, Jeremy?
I might. I don't think we know yet.
We don't know yet.
But Assassin's Creed, I'm still waiting for like all the Assassin's Creeds to be done so I can get them in one big bundle 10 years from now.
Good idea. Good plan.
I don't think they're ever going to be done with Assassin's Creed.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm still holding out. I'm trying my plan this time.
You can pick them up with that Mass Effect bundle that you never got around to.
The last one I played, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, I think.
Okay,
that was a good one. Yeah.
I got
No. I played the opening like 3 hours of Odyssey like 4 times.
Nice.
Yeah. I did play that.
Yeah, but you only
it's a good one.
Yeah, I did. I played it on the Google Stadia beta.
Yeah. Well, speaking of 4 times, a real-time 4X strategy game, Distant Worlds 2, is out now. So.
Oh, this was a Final Fantasy music compilation.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Is Is it like
also an expedition
game?
There's also the Distant Worlds expeditions.
Oh, see, this could be like a New World thing. It could be like a fantasy world thing. It could be outer space. I think this
outer space.
This is poor SEO.
Yep. Distant Worlds 2. Radgametitles.com. Secret Kiss is sweet and tender.
Destiny
like it. Yeah, there. It's basically you got a couple of Destiny guns right there.
Yeah, and potato flowers in full bloom.
Also Destiny.
Kind of Destiny. Yeah, there's kind of some Destiny guns in there too.
Potato flowers in full bloom is the name of one of your like special skills. You know.
There you go.
All right, we're changing this segment to DestinyGuns.com.
DestinyGuns.com. Oh,
DestinyGunsProbably.com.
All right.
We're changing it next week.
I like it.
DestinyGunsProbably.com.
Oh, man. Cool. On here we have Monster Hunter Rise has a full game trial for a week. I think you can play it for a week on.
Yep, if you're a Switch Online subscriber. That's
also, there's a big Capcom sale going on Steam with, by the way, Monster Hunter Rise is on sale. It's like $30 or something.
Cool. So I thought I'd be playing more Monster Hunter after Monster Hunter Worlds, and I just didn't really.
Yeah.
I used to like play every one, and then I just kind of like stopped.
I love Monster Hunter World.
Maybe they perfected it with World, and you just
do you guys want to just like bite the bullet and let's play Monster Hunter this week?
Which one?
The Rise, the trial. Well, we have a chance.
Yeah. Not on the Switch, I don't.
All right. Well, we got some news.
Steam also has a JRPG sale that has Monster Hunter on sale in it.
What?
If you want it on Steam.
You mean the Monster Hunter is on sale in 2 Steam sales at the same time? The Capcom sale and the JRPG sales?
JRPG sales. Monster Hunter Rise, $39.59.
Oh, I wasn't
email Gaben and tell him that Monster Hunter is not a JRPG.
Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin also on sale.
Now
that one's more of a JRPG.
That one is JRPG.
Yeah.
I'm gonna email Gaben and tell him that Earth Defense Force is Monster Hunter.
Hey, that sale goes on through the 21st, by the way.
Nice. Well, speaking of things that are big in Japan, the PlayStation State of Play from this last week featured mostly games from Japan. We have things like a Final Fantasy Tactics remake. We've got all kinds of things. I'll just go kind of in sort of order here. Capcom is putting out a
Final Fantasy Tactics remake.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that, Mr. Dale Jones. Capcom is releasing something called Exoprimal, or has announced, I guess I should say, sort of a co-op, almost like a
Anthem with dinosaurs.
Anthem, but you fight dinosaurs in the city. Yeah,
and the dinosaurs are cry from the moon, like in Final Fantasy VIII,
which is awesome. That's pretty good. Also,
what if your dinosaurs in No Man's Sky could pour out of the sky?
That'd be awesome.
Dinosaurs?
That would be better.
Great.
You could just shoot them all up, or maybe you could like put robot parts on them, and it would be like dinosaurs and Cadillacs.
In No Man's Sky, you can put like robot parts on your dinosaur.
That actually is really cool.
This Exoprimal game has a super dumb name, but looks kind of.
It looks fun, right?
It also looks like a game that I probably won't play, but I probably want to play.
Yeah, I hype but not buy on that one.
Like 100% hype but not buy. This is like 13-year-old me,
really hype and really not buy.
100%.
Yeah. Also announced something kind of cool: the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection, which is coming to many platforms, including all of the arcade games, the NES game. If you want to like really try and get past that dam level in NES Turtles,
nobody likes that underwater level. It was crap.
You know what? That was all. I could always tell if I was going to win I got to the point where I could beat that Ninja Turtles game all the time if I could get through the dam level.
Oh man, I could get past that level, but I just couldn't get past the third or fourth where you have to go in the sewers a bunch. And there's
I saved up. So what I would do is I would like farm all of the little special secondary items, like the throwing stars, the shurikens, and all those things. And I had every turtle. I would always get the same ones because I kind of had them all figured out, like how I was going to do it. I had a plan. And
hey, Jeremy, I could get past that dam level too. I just got stuck in the next section.
Really?
And that's
the open world one where you could drive around the turtle van. That was awesome.
I understand that, and I didn't know what to do, and there was no like game facts.
Yeah, we had no idea what we were doing.
I wandered around and I found a rope and I found a thing and I tried to jump over like in between buildings in one place and I would die, and then I could never get past that.
Yeah. So you can do that again. You can relive those memories with this Cowabunga collection. It also has the arcade game.
Like 15 games in this thing.
Yeah, there's like everything in here.
All the NES, Game Boy, SNES, Genesis
games, Game Boy games, all of it. So that's what's going on there.
Hyperzone Heist, the one that you never played but you wanted to, but you didn't have a Genesis.
Yeah, remember? I had a Genesis, and I don't think I actually played it. I don't remember. I have the soundtrack for that on vinyl.
The crappy fighting games. Remember those?
Yeah, those are like Power Stone kind of, right? Also announced here, Returnal is getting a free update called the Ascension patch, which allows you to play this game co-op. And I heartily recommend this. I actually think this would be really fun to play co-op, but I don't know anybody who plays this. But it's really cool.
Yeah, I'll play with you when I get it.
See if you can find. I don't know if there's like a demo for Returnal or what, but you should try it because it's really kind of cool. I
want to get it.
It's different from, it's expensive. Yeah. Like you don't want to pay 60, $70 for it, right?
You can get it on eBay for like $30 or $40. Really? So
do it.
That's where I would get it.
Try it out. Get it. Yeah. Then to slake the thirst of Dale Count Jones for a Final Fantasy Tactics game. We have something here called the Dio Field Chronicle. It stars Ronnie James Dio.
Holy diver.
And it literally it sort of looks a little bit real time, so it's not really tacticsy, but it kind of has that like Final Evilise kind of looking like mix of sort of technology and kind of medieval sorts of things, and it has kind of like some pseudo photorealistic environments. It kind of has a weird look to it, but it looks cool. Like I think if that genre had evolved, which nobody ever wants it to evolve, this would probably be that game. That's coming out in 2022. That is actually going to.
It has some resemblance to like the great classic Final Fantasy Tactics, but then it also looks pretty different in other regards. So I don't know what the.
Well, get this. Platinum Games co-developing it, which is kind of weird.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah. But looks pretty good. And I think there were some other things, Valkyrie Profile and some other stuff going on there. But
new Valkyrie Profile, that's wild.
That's pretty okay, I guess. I
haven't seen one of those in a long time.
Yeah, that's true. It's been a while since Valkyrie Profile. So it wasn't very long, about 20.
It's been a while since a Dio Field Chronicle game too.
That's true.
That's true. That is true.
He's been down in the darn far too long,
drinking from his big goblet or something.
Holy diver.
Yeah. Other things going on. Square Enix also making a splash in the world of YouTube. YouTube is kind of weird. We at the Game Bytes Show podcast have long made use of the kind of weird gray market video game music links that are on YouTube, which Nintendo infamously a few weeks ago
like just remix or whatever.
Well, kind of, but mostly like here's like Johnny the Gamer who puts on everything from Final Fantasy VII or something like that. And so we use it.
Johnny the Gamer.
Johnny the Gamer, his YouTube channel. Everybody go check out Johnny the Gamer. I don't know if that exists.
Johnny the Gamer.
I don't know. Anyway, Square
is a song from Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
I gotta find out who Johnny the Gamer is now. I'm looking for
Keanu
it right
Reeves'
now.
character from Cyberpunk. So Square Enix has
Johnny Gaming is a thing. Johnny Gaming.
Okay, everybody go check out Johnny Gaming. Tell him Game Bytes Show sent you. And they have put something like thousands.
9,000 subscribers. Johnny Gaming.
Johnny, you know what? Johnny, send some guys to us. Send us someone.
He plays CS:GO though, so
sorry, Johnny. We're done.
And Fortnite, we're out.
Like almost 6,000 music tracks Square Enix has put officially on this YouTube channel to just play. And they've also done something weird, which is they've made kind of like, how sometimes it's like the lo-fi beats to study to or whatever.
Oh yeah, I love that.
And a bunch of Square Enix games have like, here's the big band version of Final Fantasy Tactics or something. And they've actually made these like goofy little playlists. If you go to their channel, they are kind of giving the people what they want. Flashback to Nintendo like 3 weeks ago, squashing some homebrew channel, putting Luigi's Mansion music on there or something.
Yeah.
So I think this is really cool.
It's actually kind of strange. If you go to their channel and look at their uploaded videos, there's only 4. And then they have all of these playlists with all these songs in it. So it's like they've created these playlists. They hid their songs, but you can get to them through the playlists.
It is kind
of crazy.
Yeah. Also, this is stuff that has actually been available on other services or subscription services. So this, I think, just makes it a little bit more accessible. And Square Enix, I think, bar none, has like the most storied music library of pretty much any
really long history of doing
publisher.
good music.
Yeah, they really do. Likewise, they have a history of releasing some really bad adaptations and spin-off games, and Chocobo Racing, unfortunately, turns out to be one of those. I was kind of looking forward to this Chocobo GP thing on the Nintendo Switch, and it turns out that it's real bad, which is to say that there is a sort of free version of this, and they don't let you unlock anything. You can't participate in events. The full game is $50, and they let you know it. So it's basically like a semi-functional demo version. The game itself, not awesome.
I have to quickly shout out, going back to the last thing on the playlists.
Oh, yeah.
As a years-long devotee to Final Fantasy XI, that soundtrack is incredible, and it's all up there.
Yeah, they put everything
all up there.
Yeah, they're actually not everything, but Final Fantasy pretty well made it up there, and I get the feeling like they're going to continue to develop this, so it'll be pretty cool. But I would say, as far as nobody's happy about this Chocobo Racing game, don't bother with it. Look for the Mario Kart 8 DLC that's coming out. Like, is it this month or next month? Something like that, like imminently. Just don't even bother. I downloaded the free version of this, and I was not really impressed with it. So neither was anyone else. Last item we've got in the news, just to make sure that we're fairly reporting all of this stuff. PlayStation and Sony have had kind of some weird harassment allegations. 8 women have come forward saying various things have been going on. Systemic racism, sexism, people being reviewed during a calibration session. Only 4 of them were women, et cetera, et cetera. So this has been filed in court, and it's going on now. And anyway, that's the thing. We also have a little bit of, I guess that's it for the news. There's not much going on this week. That's the news. Boy, what a downer to end that on. Except for the new speedrun. Start the music.
There was real music this time. You guys will love it.
Nice. And the first item in the list here, we're not going to do that one.
Garbage. Get it out.
First item in the list, I guess I'll go ahead and read it here. Nintendo has delayed the Advance Wars 1 and 2 reboot indefinitely because it's just not the right time for games about tanks.
Yeah, with the Ukraine situation.
Yeah, so
For Honor is getting crossplay.
Dude,
it's about time.
I still wish I liked
not a
For Honor.
Time to get in. I wish I wanted to play it more because I really liked it.
I really did. Yeah, I just never got good at it. And then I was like, and Obsidian's RPG Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire has been canceled for the Switch, which is too bad because it's a great game.
Aww.
Yeah, it said some really racist stuff on Twitter. It was
weird. China has expanded their online gaming limits to include live streaming and social media.
Dang it, our planned expansion into the Chinese market
crushed.
Didn't they already do this like a long time ago? Like they're like limiting how long you can play Roblox for or something.
Yeah, this isn't game playing. This is live streaming and social media.
This is like the social side of games. Yeah. Ubisoft has reported a cybersecurity incident working with external authorities for a hack that took place last week, and they said that a disruption of their game systems and services had happened. No report yet of any leaked user data.
Wasn't it Ubisoft there was a huge leak of like all these unannounced games via Ubisoft's security or something like a year ago?
That was GeForce Now.
Yeah, it was GeForce Now, and then Ubisoft started issuing like takedowns.
That's
for
what it
things.
was. Yeah.
And so it was like, I guess
yeah. You know, I assume this is Abstergo breaking into Ubisoft.
Of course.
Yeah. Who will watch the Watch Dogs, really? That's the real question.
Well, not Warren Spector, because they haven't been working on System Shock 3 since like 2019 at his studio called Other Side, apparently.
It kind of makes me worried. Like, what are you doing for 3? Like, if it were me, I guess I'd just be sitting around waiting to work on Other Side, but I guess maybe they do.
You know, considering
other
the
stuff.
Last 3 years, 2 of them have been the COVID pandemic. You can allow for a little bit of leeway and that kind of thing. But yeah, it is kind of curious. Like, what have they been doing for 3 years?
Yeah.
Well, they're probably been trying to beat an Elden Ring boss with a banana, but they're too late. Someone else has already done it.
Oh, I can really see the appeal on this one. No, so I guess LeGrande read about this. So I guess the guy hooked up some electrodes to bananas. I guess it's multiple bananas, right? Is that how it works?
One banana per input.
And he would just like what? Squish him? Would he like squish him just a little bit or something?
Yes.
Like
just kind of use them the way God intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bananas.
Well, there you go, LeGrande. There's your next
bananas.
I almost made it
bananas.
Oh gosh. Guys, that is going to do it for all the news we've got this week, all of the games that we played. If you have any thoughts about anything that we've discussed here, any news, anything we missed, anything that's going on big and moving and shaking in video games, let us know all about that. You can find us on social media. We are collectively at Game Bytes Show on Twitter. You can also reach out to us individually if one of us said something that you didn't particularly care for. You can reach me at LeGrande. No, I'm just kidding. You can reach me at Jeremy_Lamont.
Oh, I'm at LeGrande, though.
He is at LeGrande.
Ooh.
I am at Count Elmdor.
And I'm at Red_I.
Find us on YouTube where we do this thing live, youtube.com/GameByteShow. Hit the alarm bell, fill that in so that you get notified when we go live. If you're not a YouTube subscriber kind of person, come join us over at GameByteShow.com. We've got a back catalog of all of our podcasts there. We have a link to our Discord server. That is open invite. You can come and hang out with us. Tell us what you've been playing real time as it's happening. Maybe even if you get to be good buddies with us, we can add you to our streaming channel where when you go live,
tens of viewers
may join you. Maybe if you're really blessed that day, tens of viewers will join you. But we also have we keep track of the freebies and stuff like that, and just generally, whatever news is going on or something weird that we
talk about what boss we're gonna beat with what fruit.
All of that. That's right. We plan ahead. All of those things. If you want to participate in one of Jerod's cockamamie tournaments, as it happens,
yeah,
that's the place to go. That's where you want to find out about it.
Yo Outlands with a strawberry.
Yeah.
Dude, can you imagine?
I would eat the strawberry instead, and I would just be done with it. But and that's it. You can find us again at this same bat time, same bat channel next week. But folks, that is going to do it for this episode of your Game Bytes Show podcast. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.